Oi, oi, sinner to winner here. How we doing? Sorry I've been away for a few days. I was playing, believe it or not, I was playing the photo double for the actor Jake Gyllenhaal. I was the back of his head. So he's doing a new TV show called Presumed Innocent. And I was doing some work for him. So I was on set long days. Couldn't get around to videoing. There was some other shenanigans going around, but that just sounds real nice, doesn't it? I'll just drop a movie star's name in, tell you how busy I've been and productive, but you know, probably a little lazy too. Hey, I'm only human after all, don't put the blame on me. Oh, it just comes out of me, baby. These songs just come out of me. What can I say? Turn the camera on, turn me on, baby. Okay, here we go. It's page 11. It's Bill's story. Billy boy, where you at? He's kind of hearing about this God thing, isn't he? He's hearing about this religion thing. Ebby's come round to his house. He's across the kitchen table. What's going on? With ministers and the world's religions, I parted right there. When they talked of God personal to me, who was love, superhuman strength and direction, I became irritated and my mind snapped shut against such a theory. To Christ, I conceded the certainty of a great man, not too closely followed by those who claimed him. His moral teaching, most excellent. For myself, I had adopted those parts which seemed convenient and not too difficult. The rest, I disregarded. You know, stop right there, sir. Halt. Look at that. You know, how many times have we heard that growing up? I can tell you, growing up, I heard that so much. Christ, you know, Jesus, yeah, probably alive, probably a great man. He was a great man. He was a spiritual teacher, but son of God, and all that other stuff, or telling, you know, a madman. But he was a good bloke. You know, he did all right, didn't he, before he died on cross? Silly bugger. But I'm jesting, but that's what you hear. You hear this, a lot of people, they want to give the fact that, yeah, he were real. But, so if he were real, either he was the Son of God or he was an absolute madman. I don't think there's any much middle ground, right? That's just something to think about. Maybe read Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis, or just YouTube that. There's some good videos and good insights on what he thinks about Jesus Christ and Christianity. And here, I like this, like a lot of people who you know, read the Bible. I'd adopted the parts which seemed convenient and not too difficult. The rest I disregarded. Well, that sounds very convenient, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? That sounds very convenient indeed. It sounds very a la carte, almost like it's a buffet. Oh, how do I want to be this good person? I'll take the easy stuff, and then I'll you know what, I'll leave the rest. And actually, I might even defecate all over the rest. I might even say, you know, I might say some nasty things about the rest, or I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just speaking from my own experience, you know. If it's not what I'm doing, it might make, you know, I might be a little sensitive to what it's calling me out on. You know, maybe I'm a bit greedy and I don't want to look at that. Maybe I'm a bit lustful and I don't want to look at that. You know, maybe I've got a bit too much pride going on in my ego and I don't want to look at that. You know, maybe I'm a bit slothful and I haven't done a video in a few days and I don't want to look at that, you know. That's why I'm clean shaven, by the way, incidentally. And for all those that watch my semen retention video, I think I'm gonna have to do another one, because I'm retaining, baby. I'm over 3 weeks again. But that's a separate story. That's a separate story. Let's carry on. The wars which had been fought, the burnings and the chicanery that religious dispute had facilitated made me sick. Like all of us, right? He's on his pulpit now. He's on his moral high ground. Oh, religion makes me sick. I honestly doubted whether, on balance, the religions of mankind had done any good. Judging from what I had seen in Europe and since, the power of God in human affairs was negligible. The brotherhood of man a grim jest. If there was a devil, he seemed the boss universal, and he certainly had me. Oh! Oh! I think he might be onto something. This is a fallen world. Look around. Look around, and if there was a devil, he seemed the boss universal, and he certainly had me. Well, it says, doesn't it? It says in our scriptures, it says, you know, this is a fallen world. It's kind of purgatory. Choose the light, choose the dark, one day at a time. One day at a time, it's not, I was saying this last night to a friend of mine, it's not always like, oh, that's simple, like, hey, I'm with the good side. You know, we've got a monkey on this shoulder, we've got a monkey on that shoulder, we've got the whispering sweet nothings to us. Little angel, little devil, right? The whispering sweet nothing to us. It's a daily reprieve living like this. You've got to, we wake up and we got those decisions to make again. Are we gonna live by the 7 heavenly virtues, or are we gonna live by the 7 deadly sins? Are we gonna gamble? Are we gonna drink? Are we gonna drug? Are we gonna self-medicate with these things that we know are no good for us, right? Are we gonna watch porn? Are we gonna cheat? Are we gonna lie? Wow, it's like in your face, right? It's like really interesting. But my friend sat before me, and he made the point blank declaration that God had done for him what he could not do for himself. His human will had failed. Doctors had pronounced him incurable. Society was about to lock him up. Like myself, he had admitted complete defeat. Then he had in effect been raised from the dead, suddenly taken from the scrap heap to a level of life better than the best he had ever known. And this is no joke. I've been in 12 steps since I was 16 years old. I've seen this. Relapse is a part of my story. I needed to go get more information. I needed to get more experience. I needed the message hammering home that I am not God. And as it says here, my human will alone will fail. Boys and girls, let me give you the cheat code. You need a higher power, and all you need to do is be willing. This is the message that Billy's getting here, right? It's a bit like a Ouija board in the other effect. You don't need to believe in ghosts and demons, but if you set that thing on working, it's going to allow them in. The exact opposite end of the scale is if you get on your hands and knees, if you pray, if you open up and say, God, thy will be done, please help me, whatever you are, I don't know, but I am open, I'm willing. Let the light of the spirit of the universe enter my life and help me do for myself, help you do for me what I can't do for myself. If you just, for shits and giggles, give that a go, miracles will start happening. Miracles will start happening. It's a story that's timeless. It's been told by many, many, many generations. Here we are getting that story again hammered into us. Had this power originated in him? Obviously it had not. There had been no more power in him than there was in me at that time. And this was not at all. That floored me. It began to look as though religious people were right after all. Here was something at work in a human heart which had done the impossible. My ideas about miracles were drastically revised right then. Never mind the musty past. Here sat a miracle directly across the kitchen table. He shouted, "Great tidings." So we're at the end of page 11. What an adventure. And Billy boy, he's getting right in front of him an example, right? It's an example of change. And this person is telling him, hey man, I didn't do it. It wasn't my will. I asked for help from something greater than myself. And this energy that my 5 senses alone doesn't see, hear, whatever it is, that in smell, taste, touch, it's bigger than that. And there are other senses on this universe, right? We feel them. I'll end it with this, right? I'll end it with this. And I might have said this before, and I think I've said it on another video, and I was saying it last night. When my daughter came earthside and I saw her come out of her mother, she knew, even with the blood and the guts and the tubes and the umbilical cord, and everyone around, and this new world that she'd entered from being inside her mum for 9 months, she knew within minutes to look for that breast. Like she was, she knew. Nobody told her. Nobody gave her a book. Nobody whispered in her ear. She knew. Right? And I'm going to put it to you. that deep down inside you somewhere, you're watching this and you know too. You know that there is something greater than yourself. You know that this is all smoke and mirrors and man-made human will, right? But there's something else going on. Just think about all the things that have been programmed into you and you've been told, right? And think about what you haven't been told. Think about what you just know, what's in you. Amen. Now get after it today. Do something kind for somebody, especially yourself, and lead by example. Be the change you wish to see. And in everything, treat others how you want to be treated. Amen. Okay? I love you. If you're watching this, I love you. Treat yourself kindly. Stop the gambling. Stop the drugging. Stop the drinking. Stop the porn. Do something nice for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something nourishing for your flesh, for your soul, for those around you that you love. Okay? If you're worried about how someone else is not treating you right, then be the example and treat yourself right and show them how you want to be treated. Okay? Woo! I think that's it for today. Com Deus.